There are wounds that don't bleed. They don't leave scars on the skin, but they live quietly, inside homes, inside hearts, inside children. This is one of those stories, a story about a mother, a daughter, and a truth so painful. It shattered cruelty itself. From the outside, the house looked normal: clean walls, a quiet street, a small dining table placed neatly near the window. But inside that house lived a 5-year-old girl named Emily, and loneliness that no child should ever know. Emily was small for her age, too quiet, too careful. Her eyes carried questions she never asked out loud. Every day she sat on the same wooden chair at the dining table. Her feet didn't touch the floor. Across from her sat her mother, Rachel. Rachel always made sure Emily could see the food: a warm plate, steaming rice, golden bread, a glass of juice. But Emily was never allowed to touch it. "Sit straight," her mother would say coldly. "Don't stare like that." Wait. Rachel would eat slowly. She chewed carefully. She drank her juice calmly. And Emily just watched. Her stomach growled softly. Sometimes she swallowed her saliva to silence it. Sometimes she closed her eyes, pretending she wasn't hungry. Rachel noticed. She always noticed, and she ignored it. Emily didn't cry. She had learned early that crying changed nothing. She had learned that asking questions only made her mother angrier. So she sat there, hungry, silent, obedient, a 5-year-old child, learning how to disappear. This wasn't just about food. Rachel controlled everything: what Emily wore, how long she slept, when she spoke, when she stayed quiet. If Emily laughed too loudly, Rachel snapped. If Emily played too freely, Rachel scolded. If Emily made a mistake, Rachel punished. And sometimes the punishment wasn't yelling. It was worse. It was coldness. Rachel would stop talking to her completely. No bedtime stories, no hugs, no goodnight kisses, just silence. A silence so heavy. It taught Emily that love could vanish without warning. Neighbors noticed things. They saw Emily sitting alone on the porch while other children played. They saw her thin arms, her tired eyes. But Rachel smiled perfectly in public. "She's shy," Rachel said. "She doesn't eat much. She's difficult." People believed her. They always do. Because monsters don't always look like monsters. Sometimes they look like mothers. At night, when the house went quiet, Emily lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Her stomach hurt, but her heart hurt more. She whispered things into the darkness. "I'll be good tomorrow. I won't make mommy mad. Maybe then she'll love me." A 5-year-old bargaining with the universe for affection. What no one knew, what no one could see, was why Rachel was like this. Rachel wasn't born cruel. She had been raised in a house where love was a reward, not a right. Her own mother had been harsh, demanding, unforgiving. Food had been used as control, silence as punishment, affection as currency. Rachel grew up believing pain was normal, that discipline meant dominance, that children existed to obey. And when Emily was born, something inside Rachel broke. Emily looked too much like someone Rachel hated, herself. Every time Rachel saw Emily's face, she saw her own childhood, her own hunger, her own tears, her own fear. Instead of healing, Rachel passed it on. Pain, recycled through generations. One evening, something changed. Rachel had cooked dinner as usual. She placed the plate in front of herself. Emily sat across from her, hands folded, eyes lowered. Rachel started eating. Halfway through the meal, Emily spoke. Her voice was barely louder than a whisper. "Mommy, are you still mad at me?" Rachel froze. She didn't answer. Emily continued. "I tried to be good today. I didn't make noise. I didn't touch anything." Her lip trembled. I'm hungry, but it's okay. I can wait. Rachel felt irritation rise. I didn't tell you to talk, she said sharply. Emily nodded quickly. I'm sorry. She looked at the plate again. Then she said something unexpected, something that cracked the room open. Mommy, if you don't want me anymore, I can go away. Rachel's fork stopped mid-air. Emily's eyes filled with tears. I won't be trouble, I promise. I'll sit quietly. I'll disappear. Her voice broke. Please don't hate me. The words hit Rachel like a punch to the chest. For a moment, the room spun. Rachel heard another voice, not Emily's, her own, small, scared, begging, please don't hate me. Rachel dropped the fork. It clattered loudly against the plate. Emily flinched instinctively, expecting punishment, but none came. Rachel stood up suddenly and turned away. Her hands were shaking, her breathing uneven. Something inside her was collapsing. Rachel walked into the bathroom and locked the door. She stared at her reflection, and for the first time, she didn't see control. She saw cruelty. She saw a woman becoming the very thing she had sworn to escape. She slid down the wall and cried. Not quiet tears, ugly, shaking sobs. Years of buried pain erupted all at once. Outside the bathroom door, Emily waited, silent, still, like always. Minutes passed. Then the door opened. Rachel stepped out. Her eyes were red, her face pale. She knelt in front of Emily and did something she had never done before. She reached out and hugged her. Emily stiffened in shock. She didn't know how to react. Rachel's voice broke. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. Emily didn't understand. She just stood there, confused, trembling. Rachel pulled back and looked at her daughter. Really looked at her, not as a mirror of pain, but as a child, a small, innocent human being, starving for love. Rachel pushed the plate toward Emily. Eat, she said softly. Emily hesitated. Am I allowed? Rachel nodded. Yes, always. Emily took a bite, then another. Tears fell onto the plate, not from hunger, from relief. That night, Rachel tucked Emily into bed. She brushed her hair gently. She kissed her forehead. I love you, Rachel said. Emily whispered back, even when I'm bad? Rachel swallowed hard. Especially then. Change didn't happen overnight. Healing never does. Rachel went to therapy. She learned about trauma, about cycles, about how pain passes unless someone stops it. And she stopped it, one apology at a time, one meal shared together, one hug that wasn't conditional. Emily slowly changed too. She laughed more, she spoke freely, she grew. And Rachel learned something profound, that love isn't control, that discipline isn't cruelty, that children don't need fear to obey, they need safety to thrive. Years later, Emily would remember that night, the night her mother broke and became human, the night hunger ended and love began. Because sometimes the truth doesn't just change everything, it saves everything.